Hey guys, I hope you're having an awesome day. Today I just want to talk briefly about another thing to pay very close attention to as far as improving your wildlife art immediately. One thing I want to talk to you about is the setting around the animal. So, everybody knows the main subject matter, is your animal, say a deer for instance, in this case. You definitely want to know your animal inside and out, get the anatomy right. That's basics. But you also need to know, what they do a certain time of year, where they go, what they eat on, how they act, throughout the year. In the spring, you definitely don't want to have a deer with a full rack walking around. They're growing, so they're gonna have little short, nubby velvet antlers, and so. That's one thing just to keep in mind. Another thing I want to talk to you about is symmetry. I see so many different artists out there just attacking their paintings in a way where it's almost romanticized. And say a woodland scene, there's perfect amount of trees on both sides of the animal and it's just all perfectly laid out. That's not nature. That's not how it is in the wild. If you look for those little imperfections, take a walk in the woods, look at things. You're going to have a leaf laying here or a clump of snow somewhere, twigs laying on the ground. There's just so many different imperfections or things that just stand out. If you work on that a little bit, that's definitely going to improve your wildlife art. One thing brought to my attention quite a few years ago when I was really starting to pursue wildlife art, I was talking to a pretty well-known wildlife artist, Bruce Miller. I sent him an email. I was really early in the stages of wildlife art and just getting started, and I asked him for an honest critique, and he got me pretty good. And at first I was kind of like, man, he really said that to me, but honestly it stuck with me, and it's probably the best thing that I probably ever got as far as a critique. But one thing he really hit home with is make sure your background goes with your subject matter. So one example I had sent him was I had a coyote jumping, and in the whole scene it was in the snow, and the whole time there was no snow coming off his paws or off his back feet when he's leaping. There's no connection that connect the two. So that's one thing to keep in mind, and ever since that's been kind of driven home for me. So I always think about trying to get everything kind of intertwined and connected. I guess that's basically what I'm going at. There's so many different ways you can attack it, but just be very aware of the background. Be aware of what the animal will do when it's in, say you're painting something in motion, you want to kick up leaves, kick up snow, anything like that. Just keep that all in mind. I appreciate you guys watching and hope you have a great day.